So after we have an overview about the VR, then we will go to the hardware. Okay, so hardware we will divide them into input and output part, and then we will combine input and output together to discuss the type of VR and AR. So the easier understanding about the hardware in VR, so you can divide into three parts. So you have the market of the PC versions. Okay, so most likely PC versions we have HT35 or Oculus. We have the mobile. Okay, we have the mobile versions. Okay, so mobile version most likely we use the cardboard or Gear VR, and then we have the console. Okay, so console here. Console is about using the PlayStation VR. Okay, so somehow we divide the market into three parts: mobile, PC, and console. Then of course we need to talk about what is the things inside this kind of VR device. So the first one we need to understand is capture the input of our human body. So for all the VR device, they have a certain degree of the input channel that capture the position and also orientation of the human body. To easier understand about this kind of input device, we can divide this kind of input device into two parts. Okay, so the first one is about the optical motion capture system. Optical motion capture system. Okay. The optical motion capture system, or simply we say that is mocap system. Mocap system. They are using different infrared camera. Okay, multiple infrared camera similar to this one. Different multiple infrared cameras to capture the motions and also the position of the here. Okay, refractive marker. This one, this ball is called the refractive marker. Okay. So unlike normal camera, inside the infrared camera, only the positions of the marker will be captured. Okay, so this one is the human wear the special code about the refractive marker, and then under the infrared camera, the refractive marker will change to this one. Okay, so all the RGB green, red, green, blue image will be ignored. Okay, only the positions of the marker will be recorded. And then by combine the image get from different multiple camera, at least 4, perhaps you need more and more for the motion capture system. And then there is a positions of all the marker. Okay, sometimes you need extra post estimations about the positions of the marker, and then this kind of position of the marker will be remapped to the 3D model. Okay, so this one is called skeleton. Finally, this kind of skeleton data will be mapped to the model, virtual model, so that all the actions that you add inside the virtual model, inside the physical environment, will be reflected inside the virtual model. For the motion capture system, so again, you can divide into two parts. The first one is about the additive marker. So this one is called additive marker. Okay, here is also called the additive marker. Additive marker means that they need extra power. They need the battery, and then they keep on generating the signal to the camera. So even the marker, they are, for example, I have a couple of these kinds of controller, or I have a couple of these kinds of receiver about my hand motions, right? Although they have the same physical structure, but inside the system, because they are generate different ID to the motion capture system, so inside the same physical world, we can allow multiple. Okay, we can allow multiple this kind of active motion capture sensor or motion capture marker. Okay, reflective marker. And other things we call it is here. Okay, passive marker. So most likely passive marker here is also a passive marker. This one is also a passive marker. Will be installed into some physical component that they will not change their shape. Okay, for example, here is the controller, and another this one is the gun. Okay, the 3D structure or the physical structure of this passive marker, reflective marker, is very unique. So inside the same physical environment, we can only allow one physical shape of this kind of passive reflective marker, so we can identify which gun or which controller is using now. Okay, so if you have 3 or 4 controller inside the same physical area, we need to have 3 or 4 different kind of physical structure of this kind of passive marker. Okay. There are pros and cons about using the optical motion capture system. We talk about the pros first. Okay, the pros. Optical motion capture system is really accurate. It's really accurate. Also, for example, somehow the this one, our lab P 503, we are using this kind of motion capture system. Okay, so the accuracy is close to 0.2 mm, 0.2 mm. So they can record all the small, very small, tiny movement about your muscle. So we can, in our lab, we can even do the facial detections about your emotion. For example, I can put this kind of marker on your face, and then because we put this kind of marker on your face, so and then the accuracy is 0.2 mm, so we can capture all details, motions about your face. Okay, detailed motion about your face. In our lab, of course, we have the active passive marker, and also we have the passive active marker. We can put it on your face or put anywhere on your body. Okay. So and also the update frequency is really high. So the update frequency is more than 200 hertz, 200 hertz in our lab, more than 200 hertz in our lab. So it's really useful for the games or for the motion capture process that you require a high degree of accuracy. For example, you need to do the research, or you somehow need to do some measurements about your muscle. This kind optical motion capture system is perfect for you. You have the pros, of course. You have the cons. Okay, one of the most important part about the motion capture system is the money. So in our lab, one motion capture system is 250. Okay, 250,000 Hong Kong dollars. 250,000 Hong Kong dollars, and it's only a entry cost. Okay, so of course, if you want to update or combine the motion capture system with other VR device, you need to invest more and more and more. Okay, so it's quite expensive. And other problem, because this kind of motion capture system, they are using the infrared. Okay, they are using the infrared. So they cannot be used under the sunshine. They cannot be used under the sunshine. And then if you have the sunshine go to your room, so definitely you have some effect about your accuracy. And of course, for each time you need to install here, you need to install the camera. Okay, install different multiple camera. So somehow, because you need to install the camera, so you need the calibration. So for our lab, the motion capture system is really advanced, and every time when you need to reinstall or we need to calibrate the motion capture system, it costs around a AM session or a PM session half day to do this kind of calibration. So it may not be really good for the home use or from the mobile device usage. Okay. So beside the optical motion system, and then we have the electromagnetical. Okay, electromagnetical. So electromagnetical means that it's easy to understand, gyroscope. Okay, gyroscope. Or today we seldom use the gyroscope. We use the accelerometer. Okay, accelerometer, because the size of this one accelerometer, they are used to measure the gravity. Okay, they know whether your mobile device is pointing to our Earth or not. Okay, so they know the orientations of your mobile device. Okay, gyroscope is also good. It's also the accuracy of gyroscope is also good, but somehow the size of accelerometer here, this one, is smaller. Okay, this one is smaller. So for all the mobile device, for example, your mobile phone or your smartphone, so most likely it's replaced by this one here, accelerometer instead of gyroscope. Okay. So what is the meaning of gyroscope or accelerometer? They are using the electromagnetic fields to measure the potential difference between the orientations. Okay, between the orientations. Okay, so they know the orientations of your device, and then not only about your mobile phone, it can be extended to your full body. So here is the size of your full body. You can buy it in somewhere. Okay, this one is provided by the string visions. Okay, string visions. So you can buy it. The pros, of course, the the accelerometer or the dial is really cheap. So if you go to Taobao or if you go to China and then buy it, it's around few dollars to $10 for each sensor. Okay, it's really cheap compared with the motion capture system, and then they can be used. They can be used under the sunshine. Okay, under the sunshine. So when you bring the mobile phone outside, the mobile phone can still know your orientations, whether you are vertical or horizontal. They know that. Okay. And of course, they do not need extra additional camera. So you are using your mobile phone by home. You need not to using another camera to shoot at your mobile phone and then do the or estimation of your orientations. Okay. They have the pros, and of course they have the cons. It's not really accurate. Okay, it's not really accurate. Of course, they are using different kinds of algorithm. We are using some method about the machine learning. We are using some methods about the motion capture, and then we are improve the estimations of the motion, but the accuracy is not as good as the motion capture system. And one of the most important thing is most likely it can only measure the orientation, not the positions. So they don't know whether your mobile phone using is in this corner or that corner. Okay, they do not know. They only know your orientations. Nowadays, we can use some soft computing. Okay, again, use some AI, machine learning, different kinds of method to estimate your position. But the result is only estimate. It's not accurate enough. Okay. So whatever you are using optical motion capture or electromagnetic motion capture, so you need to put some marker or you need to put some sensor, physical object on your body. Yeah, some of the people will think that putting some things, okay, putting some stuff on your body is still affect the situations about capture the motion. For example, if you are going to capture Kung Fu, right? Capture Kung Fu, and you are going to use some optical motion capture, you need to wear a special clothes, okay? And then which is very tight and it is hard for your body to do the movement. And if you're thinking about some disabled people, so they are hard to install some marker on their body, or if you are thinking some physical therapy, that they need to measure very accurate about their skeleton. So it's hard to ask their patients to wear this kind of special sensor on their body. So here we will talk about another kinds of motion capture system. We call it markerless. Okay, markerless or long contact. Okay, markerless or long contact motion capture system. So as you know from the name, that means we do not need any marker. We do not need any marker. We only need a infrared camera. Yeah, infrared camera to take their depth data. Okay, taking their depth data. So unlike the, as I mentioned before, unlike the Lgbt camera, the depth camera, so they only use the infrared and then know the depth information. So how far from the sensor, and then yeah, how close is from the how close to the sensor. And because we do not have any marker on your body, so it cannot be used in different kinds or in any kinds of our physical object. So they can only recognize, okay, recognize some common and structural object. Okay, so what's that meaning? So in our current stage, we only can, the commonly easy to understand is we can recognize the human body, the face, and the hand. Because everyone, we have our body, of course, we have our body, and our body is somehow common and well structured. So we have a head, and then we have two arms, we have two legs, and then we have a body similar to the face, right? So we have two eyes, one nose, and then a mouth, and then two ears, etc. For our hands, we have 5 fingers. So those are common and structural objects. So their IK, okay, invert kinetics are well known. So their movement of each joint are well known. Because their structure and then the movement of the body are well known, because there are lots of locking about your joint. You cannot freely to move all of your joints, right? So we can invert some of our yeah, is money invent. Okay, so we invent some of the money and then try to develop algorithm to recognize the structure of the whole body. Of course, it's also great to recognize our face. So today, not only the infrared camera, some of the Lgbt camera, they also recognize the face information. But of course, with the infrared camera, the accuracy will be better. So that's why when you are using iPhone 10 or some of the notebook, they use the infrared camera to do the face recognitions, and then they know the 3D structure, so they can have a better security levels. Okay, better accuracy and better security levels. So the recognitions of a common or structural object, so they need extra algorithm to do it. It needs extra depth data and pattern recognition algorithm to do it. So it means it needs extra computation power. So yeah, you need quite a lot of energy to do it, and most likely they are carried with the 220 watt. It cannot be easily carried by a notebook, or it cannot easily be carried by a smartphone. Okay, so most likely you need an extra part, an extra electricity source to run this kind of the sensor. And the resolutions of the infrared camera is not as good as our mobile phones. So nowadays you talk about 0.1 billions, right? The camera is almost to 0.1 billions, and then most likely you have few hundred millions of resolutions, right? DPI. But for the infrared camera, most likely they only have 800 times 600. Okay, 800 times 600. The resolution is not as good as our Lgbt camera. So there are two common, okay, there are two common infrared camera that can help you to capture the body and also help you to capture the hand. Okay, so the first one we introduce is Kinect. Okay, Kinect. Okay. So at the very beginning, Microsoft, they have a product about the Kinect. This one, Kinect. Okay. So this one is Kinect for Export One. Is the second version of the Kinect. So I would say that it's not too bad. Okay. I would say that it's not too bad because it's only 1,000 to 2,000, 1,000 something to 2,000 something. Okay. And then the resolution is acceptable, is 800 times 600, and then the algorithm and also the APK is ready to use, and then yeah, they are well structured and easy to use. So when you connect to PC, there are a couple of applications you can create. For example, you can create an application for physical therapy. You can create applications for different kinds of physics code exercise. So at the same time, you can recognize 6 people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can recognize 6 people. So it can recognize around 20 points of your body. So they can recognize your arm, your leg, your hips, your head, and also some of your fingers. Okay, some of your fingers. They are using wide angle. So the Kinect one, they can recognize the body far away from the 3 meters, and then within 1 meter to 3 meters. So they cannot capture the image of below 1 meter, but they can capture the image after 1 meter and below 3 meters. They are using time of flight, okay, time of flight camera. So they have multiple IR and then IR to sense the human body. So here, times of flight. Okay, times of flight. So every second they will produce 2 gigabit data to your computer. So if you turn on all the channel, and then every second there are 2 gigabits data go to your computer. So you need to run a little process. So most of the games or most of the applications, they will reduce the channel, reduce the data received from the Kinect. But for the Kinect, that is good enough for you to collect lots of the data if your computer or your applications have this kind of need. So yeah, Kinect 1 is first deployed in Xbox One, and then you can connect to a PC. But unfortunately, 4 years ago, so because the usage of the applications about the game is cannot fulfill the needs or cannot fulfill the sales of the Kinect 1, so they stopped the development. Okay. But we think that it's good to connect to the PC because for the games you need lots of the calibrations. You need to set up the body gesture, and one of the most important point is when you love the games, right? When you love playing the first-person shooting games, or when you love the using the gamepad to control the character, so you hate doing physical exercise. So that's why the Kinect cannot be make a good sales in games. Okay, so they stopped the development. So they use after 4 years. So they in this year, so they introduced another kind of new Kinect. So this one is Kinect Asia. Okay, Kinect Asia. So the version is more or less similar, but somehow there is one advantage about Kinect Asia. For the infrared camera, so somehow when you connect to multiple infrared camera, so there are lots of interference, there are lots of disturb from the multiple infrared camera. So somehow you cannot use the multiple camera together. For example, you cannot use the Kinect together with the HTC Vive, together with the Leap Motions, together with other infrared camera. But Microsoft Asia, they have the ability to dedicate the ID, the ID of different Kinect Asia camera, so that you can use multiple Kinect camera at the same time. Okay, so it increase the accuracy. For example, when we are using the Kinect 1, so when you are moving far away from the camera, or you are rotating your body to facing your back is facing the camera, so somehow it's difficult to recognize. But with the Kinect Asia, with multiple locations and with multiple infrared camera, you are able to do so. So this one is quite good. Okay. So Kinect is good, but somehow to recognize some details movement about hand, they cannot do it like so. So we will like to introduce another things. We call it leap motions. Okay, leap motion here, leap motions. Leap motions, they are going to recognize the hands only. Okay, so they are using some active IR sensor and then recognize the gesture of the hand. So you see that your hand is here. Okay, and the sensor is here. Okay, so all the movement and all the positions of your joint, all your position of your finger can be well chased by this kind of sensor. Okay, and it's good for you to replace some of the controller of the VR system. For example, HTC, you don't want to use the controller of HTC, then you can use this kind of leap motion installed on the head-mount display and do it. Okay. So the next one, after we talk about the input, then we will talk about the output. How we output the mostly we will only talk about the visions. Okay, visions to different kinds of hardware. Okay, output. So the well-known output of the VR system, of course, is the HMD, head-mount display. So head-mount display is well known to you put a very heavy glasses on your head. So this one is HTC Vive, and then PlayStation VR, and then Oculus. Okay, so they are all well known head-mount display. So in fact, the head-mount display, they are not project some real or true 3D image. So they are only using two flat screen. Okay, here two flat screen to represent the 3D image. So divide the image to left and also right. So this one is cardboard. So we divide the image to left and also the right to display your VR application, to replace the output of your VR applications. And because today the LCD, LED, the really cheap, right? And everyone you have the smartphone, and then the smartphone is ready for all this kind of display. You can easy to program the applications into two output, left and right, and then deploy to your customer. It's really easy. This kind of technology is not really new. Okay, it's not really new. So somehow it's coming from the where is it? Coming starting from 1968. Okay, or at the very beginning, the head-mount display you can dedicate or turn into left or right screen for a flat screen. You can back to 1950. Okay, and then for the home use, so you can refer to Nintendo's Virtual Boys. Okay, it's almost 40 years ago. Almost 40 years ago, so they have the VR device. So it's good because now for this kind of VR device, it's lightweight. Okay, it's easy to program. It's really easy to program, okay? Because you only need to separate the left-right screen into different kinds of flat screen, okay? So because of the mobile phone, so it's easy to include with the accelerometer so that you can have 300-degree tracing about your head, okay? And then they are very cheap. Okay, they are very cheap. If you are using the smartphone of your user and then you buy a good cardboard, it's only $2. Okay, it's only at $2. But somehow I cannot say these kinds of head-mount display they are true 3D image. They are true. They are not true 3D image. They are not true 3D image. They are only about the illusions of two flat screen. Okay, two flat screen. So you may ask why this kind of two flat screen can replace the 3D image. So it belongs to the problem of our eyes. So some of the people may say that our eyes is good. In fact, compared with the other animals in the world or other organisms in our world. So our resolutions, the resolution of our eyes is very high, and then we can determine lots of different color. Okay, although the refresh rate is not as good as the fire dragons or as good as lots of the fires. Okay, but we have high our eyes is high resolutions, okay, but it may not good for some house about the 3D image. So if you I guess you know that we have the limitations to determine far object and then the close object, okay, and then this kind of distance is not as good as you think. Most likely we can only determine the object which is far or close by our eyes not more than 6 to 10 meters, okay. So what does that mean? So after 6 or 10 minutes, the object that you are looking at, so it's hard for you to define the size, and then most likely you are only use your common sense. Okay, you are only using the logic that you have learned in every day to recognize their size. Okay, so you can do a simple experiment now. So you're looking at some far distance, for example, 6 meters or 10 minutes away from you, okay, and then you use your left eyes only, you use your right eye only, and then you open two eyes to look at your distant object. So you can recognize that you are not using two eyes to look at the distant object. You are only using, okay, you are only using right eye, whatever is left or right, you are only using one eye. So because of these problems about our eyes, so using the flat screen is good enough in the VR system to present some distant object, okay, to present some distant object. So if you are captured some VR environment and then it's virtually far away from the user, for example, 6 meters or 10 meters, so the user cannot, okay, so the user cannot identify whether this one is a true or this one is a virtual object, okay, because we only use one eye to recognize the image of the far object, okay. So for lots of the virtual tour, for example, you travel to the Egypt or you travel to the Tokyo or you travel to London, right? For the virtual tour, because all the objects they are far away, So when you wear the VR equipment and then have a look with this far away object, so you will find that it's definitely good. Okay, they're definitely perfect, definitely good, right? But if there is a tour guide close to you, and then the tour guide or you are dating with a girl, and then the girl is you six next to you for the dating, right? So somehow the girls, okay, or the tour guide, they are close to you. Less than 6 meters or 8 meters, you will think that this one, the image is very strange and then it's fake, okay? Then this is the situations of our eyes, okay? Our eyes can determine the object which is close to us within 6 meters, but for the so that's why if you do the content about the VR tour, we try to avoid to put the object close to the user, close to 6 or 10 meters, okay? And then there are some disadvantage. Of course, there are lots of the disadvantage about the head-mount display besides they cannot present the close object. There are no resolutions. Okay, although today our mobile phone is really good, but compared with the other screens, so the resolution is still not enough. Okay, and then they have low field of the visions. Okay. So most likely it's only 90 degree, okay, 90 degree of the field compared with 160 or 180. So the low field of the vision is another problem because the size of your mobile phone or the size of the head-mount display, they cannot create a very big and then very long display, okay. And then because the computation power of the head-mount display, so somehow they are a little bit high latency, okay. So if the rendering rate is less than 90, and then it creates lots of the problem when you are watching these kinds of videos or you're watching this kind of VR experience, okay. And then another problem about health is according to the WHO, World Health Organizations. So WHO, they have lots of the recommendations about our health, right? So whether you trust them or not, they have the recommendations about the VR system. So they are not recommend the people who is under 15 years old or younger to use the VR, to use the VR equipment. The reason is they think that such kind of electronic screen is not good for the teenagers, okay, or the children, okay. So they do not recommend any electronic screen, including iPad, including computers, including mobile phone, to be used under 15 years old, okay. So yeah, this their recommendation, but somehow it's hard to obey today, right? So how can you avoid a 15 years old or younger people to use the electronic device, to use the electronic screen, right? So even the 15 years old, not the 15 years old, even the 15-month, okay, 15-month old baby, now they are still using the iPad to watch the YouTube movie, to watch the Baby Shark channel, right? So it's hard for us to ban it. But somehow, if you are doing some public exhibition or so, and then you want this kind of VR play with the teenager, so you need to get their consent form, and then you need to tell the WHO do not recommend you to do so, but if you still want to do so, please play not more than 15 minutes, and then take a rest, and then you're looking something far away from you, so it's good for your health. Okay, you can make such kind of consent to them. Okay. So after we talk about the flat screen, and then we would like to talk about somehow about true 3D imaging. Okay, true 3D imaging. So it's called the auto stereoscopy. Okay, auto stereoscopy, or you can easy to say it's 3D imaging. So it tried to use the illusions of depth, okay, to present the true 3D imaging. So the easy understanding, they project two light rays to your left eyes, okay, and also to your right eyes, okay. So there are two offsets of image separately go to your left eyes and right eyes. There are two different kinds of the 3D imaging that you will I guess all of you guys have experience, and then you have know what's going on in it. The first one is the auto stereoscope. Auto stereoscopic, okay. So in another easy understanding wording is IMAX, okay, IMAX movie, okay, IMAX movie. So IMAX movie, what's going on, right? So they have a high update frequency screen, and then they will present the image to your left eyes, right eyes to your eyes, and then you wear some special glasses, okay. So when they are presenting the image to your left eyes, they will block your right eyes, and then when you are presenting the image to your right eyes, they will block your left eyes, okay, and then so on and so on. So most likely the update frequency of such kind of movie is around 100, okay, to 120 hertz, okay. So every second, this kinds of the image, they have 100 to 120, and then they need to ensure that for all of your for each of your eyes, you can receive at least 60, okay, at least 60 frames per second, so that you will feel that the motions or other thing is smooth, okay. So your left eye and right eye receive different signal, and then they will combine the image together in your brain, okay, in your brain. So I want to talk about a history about the IMAX and also this kind of 3D movie. So for our first time for watch the 3D movie is Harry Potter. I cannot remember is Harry Potter 2, Harry Potter 3, or Harry Potter 4. So at that times the whole film, the whole 3D film, they are not okay, 3D. Okay, they are not 3D. In fact, the situation is most of the time they are 2D, and then there are special logo on the screen ask you to wear the 3D glasses, and then when you wear the 3D glasses, it's only about 15 minutes. Okay, it's only about the 15 minutes, and then you enjoy the 3D scenarios, and then take off your 3D glasses, and then enjoy the 2D scenes again. Okay. The times of this kind of 3D imaging is increasing in the 3D movie. So if you go to the offenders, it's around 3 hours. Okay, it's around 3 hours. So it's the longest movie at that time about the 3D imaging. Okay, we need to learn. Okay, we need to learn to combine the image of left eyes and right eyes together in our brain. Okay, so at the very beginning, if we introduce a 3 hours 3D image to you, 3 hours 3D movie to you, so your brain will feel that it's really heavy. Okay, it's really heavy. And then so somehow you will feel very tired after watching this 3D movie because your brain is not well trained to combine this kind of imaging. Okay, especially when we are teenager. We do not have this kind of training, and then when we go old, our the vision part in our brain is not well prepared for this kind of process. So we will feel that it's really tired, and then it's very heavy in our brain, or you think that it's your eyes. In fact, it's not your eyes. Your eyes is only a camera. The processing is on your is in your brain. Okay. So, but it's okay for the teenagers now, because when they are young, so they go to the cinemas and then they have a look with the 3D imaging. They watch the 3D movie. Okay, so they spend lots of the time to train during their teenagers. So they are well trained and well prepared for this kind of 3D imaging. So if you are preparing some 3D imaging for the teenager, definitely they do not have any problem for watching a long time or using the movie, using this 3D imaging for a long time, even it's 3 hours. Okay, so it's true. So I will introduce another story. So many years ago, so there is a 30 to 40 years old man. Okay, he was blind. He was blind when he was born. Okay. When he was born, he was blind, and then he cannot see anything. So the processing part of the visions, okay, the vision processing part in his brain haven't been trained, okay, from the first day of his life up to 30 or 40 years old, okay. And then because the technologies of we guys human are good, so we have a chance to help him to recover the visions, okay. So he recovered the visions, and then the situation is good. Okay, he can see all the things, but he feel really painful because every day there are lots of different kinds of visual information go to his brain. Okay, and then it creates lots of the problems about processing this kind of visual informations. And unfortunately, at last, he decided to become a blind people again. So the doctor. He agreed with the doctor to cut his nerves, okay, and then stop all the information go to his brain again. So you see that the process about the vision is from the brain, and then the process about the visions is very heavy load, okay. So that's why the processing the 3D image, you need lots of the trainings to do it. IMAX movie is good because unlike the head-mounted display, you need to wear a very heavy glasses, right? The IMAX movie, you only need to wear a light glasses, and then you can enjoy the 3D imaging. Okay, so how about without any glasses? So we will introduce another technology called multi-scopic. Okay, this one. So it's a easy understanding. So this one is 3D TV. Unlike the previous flat screen, right? The flat screen is flat. Okay, it's flat. So for this kind of 3D TV, they have curve. Okay, they have curved surface. So for each pixel, so this one is one pixel, they will divide into two parts and then go to your left eyes, also go to your right eyes. So you think that this one is excellent because you need not to wear any glasses and then you can enjoy the 3D matrix. We do not we don't want to talk about the money first, and then one of the problems of this kind 3D TV or 3D 3D TV. So one of the problem is this curve. Okay, the curve screen is fixed. Okay, the curve screen is fixed, so that you cannot move your head and then enjoy the 3D matrix. So they can only present the 3D matrix at a fixed angle and then at a certain point. Okay, so you cannot easily move your head or go to anywhere to enjoy the 3D matrix. You need to stick the same position and on the same angle. So have you paid about this one? So this one is 3DS. Okay, for the 3DS they have this kind of technologies inside. Okay, they have this kind of technologies inside, but you have heard that you have the 3DS and then later you have the NDS is very success, you have the 3DS is not success, and then now you have the Switch have moved this kind of function out from their new handheld device. Okay, the reason is when you are playing this kind of 3DS, you need to hold this player console, this handheld device at a certain point, fixed position and also fixed angle, and you feel it is very tired. Mostly when you are playing Switch or when you are playing the NDS, right? You lie on the sofa and then you will use your most relaxing pose to play with this device, right? So you feel ask them to have a fixed position and also have a fixed angle. It makes the user feel very angry. Okay, and then it's not possible to do it. That's why the Nintendo removed this function from the Switch. Okay, and then of course the next problem is about the money. So the curved TV is really expensive, or we call 3D TV is really expensive. So for a 80 cm to 100 cm series is about 100,000. You can find this kind of model in our science park. We have a company to do it, okay, and doing the research with it. The 3D TV, they are improving, okay, they are improving. Now they are going to develop some new materials to change, okay, the situations of the curve. Okay, so they will install multiple camera. Here is multiple camera. Okay, so they would like to estimate the positions and also estimate the angle, and then using these new materials to change the curve or the scene. So they have a wide angles, and then they can when you move to watch about the TV, you can still enjoy the 3D matrix. Of course, now we can only find out the 3D matrix for only one people. We cannot support the multiple user. So after we have talked about the input and output, then we will combine the input and output together to classify the types of the VR. So what is the common type that we can use in the VR device, and then how we can deploy to it. The first type is called mobile VR. Okay, it's called mobile VR. So it's really easy to understand. So this one is the cardboard, and then cardboard is a kind of mobile VR. Okay, this one is a kind of mobile VR. We have created such kind of mobile VR before the cardboard. So this one is the create of our game labs. Okay. So we combine the mobile phones, and then we combine the accelerometer inside the mobile phone. So we capture the image and then generate different kinds of output to our screen, and then let you to enjoy the 3D matrix. Okay. So for the mobile VR is good because it can be deployed in different kinds of the mobile phone. So you can deploy it into the iOS, or you can deploy it into Android. Okay, and it is really cheap. So if you're talking about the Google Cardboard and then you go to Taobao to buy it, it's only about $2. Okay, it's only about the 2 CNY. So it's really cheap. Okay, so this one is Google Cardboard. So but the problems are it's really cheap and then very easy to deploy. Okay, so if you are using such kind of game engine, and then today lots of the game engine, they have one button to deploy your applications to VR device. Okay. So the disadvantage is somehow about the mobile VR, you cannot capture lots of the input information. So if you are using cardboard, okay, if you are using the cardboard, so the only things that you can capture is your head orientations, not the positions. So we can only capture the rotations of your head. So most likely when you are using cardboard, go to YouTube and then have a look with all kinds of 360-degree movie. It's only a point, okay? It's only a point. You cannot move a step towards, or you cannot move a step backwards to your character. For example, you see a very attractive girl in front of you. So wherever you move your head in towards or away from this girl, there is no effect. Okay, there is no effect because we only know the rotation of your head, but not the position of your head. Okay. So if you want to pay more, so you can buy the Daydream, Samsung Gear VR or Oculus Go. So they are almost the same things. Okay. So besides they capture the orientation of your head, they also capture the orientation of your hands. Okay, so your hands will act like a pointer, so somehow you can point to different kinds of object and then grab it or point or kick it. Okay, so you provide one more interaction for it. Of course, for more interaction, you need to pay for more. Okay, for the cool cardboard, it's only $2, but for this kind of Daydream of Gear VR, it's around 700. Okay, 700 to 800 Hong Kong dollars. Okay. It's still reasonable, and then yeah, it's still reasonable, and then you can have a better interactions about your VR or mobile device. So nowadays, most likely when people using the mobile VR, they will use the Gear VR. So the Gear VR, they have a half proportional about the market, 6.6%. Okay, beside the cardboard, of course, cardboard is the highest. Okay, but if you want to buy the equipment, we buy the Samsung Gear VR because they are well integrated with the Samsung mobile phone. So I strongly recommend that if you are a Samsung user and check with whether you can use the Gear VR or not, and then you pay for 700 or 800 additional money, so you can enjoy one more functions of your mobile device. Their resolution is acceptable, it is good enough, and then you can have lots of different interactions about using this kind of Gear VR. For a Daydream is also good, and then is suitable for nearly all of the mobile device, nearly all of the smartphone. But somehow, because is a general product and then it's going to suit all the mobile device, so they are not good integrate with the mobile phone. So for the user experience, it's not good enough. Okay, for the player experience, it's not good enough because somehow your mobile phone inside the Daydream, it will be a little bit they are not fixed very well, so they will be shaking, and then the imaging is not refocused. Okay. The next one is standing. Okay, standing VR here. Okay, standing VR means that you can trace the positions of your head and also trace the positions of your hand. Okay, so unlike the mobile VR, they only know the rotation of your head and also the hand. Now you can also know the positions. That means you can move forwards or backward to the character, to the virtual object. Okay. So why we say is a standing VR, because the tracing area is limited. So when we are talking about the HTC5, okay, HTC5, so the tracing area is only 3 meters times 3 meters, okay. So that means you stand on the original positions, you can move up and down, you can rotate your body, you can rotate your hand, they can capture the positions of your hand and also head. But somehow you can only move a step forward or a step backward. Okay, a step forward or a step backward. So that's why we call it standing VR, because the area that you can trace the position is really limited. Okay, so similar situation in PlayStation VR and also in Oculus. For this kind of standing device, standing VR, so they are not only using the accelerometer similar to your smartphone, right? They are not only using the accelerometer. Okay. So they, beside the optical electromagnetical motion capture, they also use the optical motion capture. So if you find that there is an extra camera, okay, extra camera, and then you need to install it before you use this kind of VR system. So most likely they are standing VR, okay. So for the HTC5, okay, for the HTC5, so beside the gyroscope and also the accelerometer that you can easily find in your mobile phone, they also have the optical motion capture system. So there are 70 infrared sensor on your head-mount display and also on your controller. Okay. For the standing VR, you can easily find two different kinds of products in our market. So the first one is HTC, and other is Oculus. Okay. So for the Oculus, they divide their products into three different classes. The first one is Oculus Go. So this one is similar to the Samsung Gear VR. They use your mobile phone, the accelerometer of your mobile phone, and then they use the controller. Okay. Okay, they use the controller. So it's kind of mobile VR. I would say that it not truly belongs to the standing VR. Okay. For the Quest, okay. So somehow now you have two controllers, but situations are similar. Okay. For the Oculus Rift, so this one is a perfect solution about the standing VR. So they have one. Okay, they have one infrared camera, so they know that whether you are far away from the applications or you are close to the virtual object. Okay, virtual object. So they know you are far away from the camera or close to the camera, and then they also have the algorithm to estimate whether you have changed the positions of your body, and then whether you are far away, and then if the camera cannot recognize your body or your hand, so they can still using the algorithm estimate a little bit about your positions. Of course, it's not perfect, but it's acceptable. Okay, and especially about the price, they are acceptable. So similar to Oculus HTC, they have different kinds of product to fulfill the market needs. So this one, Oculus Cosmos, so they have two controllers, and then they have one HAMR display with multiple camera on it. Okay, they use this multiple camera to trace the positions of your controller. Okay. So the price is reasonable, but we think that if you are looking at a better performance, so somehow you can purchase a better one. Okay. So here is another kind of Cosmo with the optical motion capture system. Okay, with the lighthouse. Okay, lighthouse, or we call it base station. So this kind of equipment is better because they have a better tracing about your head positions, okay, and also of your hand positions, okay. Unlike the previous version, you only have the gyroscope or accelerometer to trace the orientation. They have the base camera to trace, okay. They have the base camera to trace your position. It's better than the previous versions, and then yeah, if you are going to enjoy a better VR experience, so this one is recommended for you. Of course, if you are going to pay more and more, so you can have a higher resolutions of the HTC 5. So they have a Pro versions, okay, HTC 5 Pro, okay. This one is a HTC 5 Pro. So they have a better resolutions about the HAMR display, and then they have a better lighthouse, okay, base stations. So you can connect multiple base stations for one VR system. So you can extend the tracing area from 3 meters times 3 meters to 10 meters times 10 meters, which is pretty good or pretty enough for lots of the VR applications. And then why we recommend HTC 5, because there are different kinds of accessory. For example, this one is a wireless solutions. So if you don't want to become the Eva, or if you don't want to become a robotic, right? So you don't want to connect with the wire. So this is a good wireless solution for you, okay? With the battery, and then you need not to carry out the cables with your HAMR display. And one of the most important things about this product is, for the VR application, you need a high refresh rate. Okay, you need a high refresh rate, and also need a high response rate. So the I/O input output of the VR device is really a problem, and then the I/O of the wireless, okay, wireless connection is really a problem. HTC, they try to reduce the overhead and then provide this kind of wireless solutions for their HAMR display. So I think it's pretty good. Okay. So if you use the mocap system, so of course you can put different kinds of refractive marker on your body. But if you are using HTC 5, you can do the similar things. Beside the head, beside two hands, so you can buy additional active sensor for the base stations. Okay, so you can put it anywhere in on your leg or on the guns or on any other weapons because they are active. Okay, they are active. They are generate different kinds of signal to your night house. So some house you can with the same physical structure, you can still be worked in one physical environment. So this one we think is pretty good. Okay. It also have this one is EEG. So if you want to do the research, for example, they are playing the VR applications and then they are using an immersive system so they can focus. Okay, you want to observe the behavior of their brain. So you can install this one, the EEG device. Okay, EEG device on their heads and then have a look with the situations of their brain wave. Okay, have a look with their brain wave. HTC Vive is also good because they are compatible with different kinds of device, so we can combine with the lip motions. So we can forget about the controller and then we use their hands. Okay, we use their hand in the VR application. So this is their hand and then we combine the lip motion together. So if you are interested in our Facebook or YouTube channel, so we have the mini screens for the elderly, because for the elderly it's hard for them to know or to learn about the controller, and then now they can use their hand to prevent all the options. So it's good for the physical therapy or it's good for the OT, PT or other therapy to do their work in VR system, because VR somehow is try to shorten the learning distance about different people. So they have the head-mount display, so they need not to learn to use the analog of the controller. And now you have the lip motion, so they need not to learn anything about grab the virtual object or how to use the controller to interact with your virtual world. So this one solution we think is pretty good. So if you understand the standing VR, so walking VR is also easy to understand. The major difference is about the tracing area. Our lab, we have the walking VR, so the tracing area is 20 meter times 20 meter times 50 meter. Okay, so it's really enough for any kinds of VR application. So you can trace the area about a basketball. About a basket, you can trace in motion in the basketball match, right? So it's good enough, and then its accuracy is high enough. We combine the optical motion capture system. That means the white ball. Okay, the white refractive marker with the head-mount display. So you can connect with the HTC, you can connect with the Oculus, or you can connect with other patient VR, etc., etc., and etc. So if you have the chance to come to our lab, I strongly recommend you to go to our lab. Okay, P503. Okay, so beside all the flat screen that you use the head-mount display to project the VR system, we also have a projection VR. Okay, projection VR. We are using IMAX solution projector. Okay, so this one is 130 Hz about the update. So we use 2 Titan card and then connect to a PC and then work for it. Okay, so unlike the IMAX movie, when you are moving your head, so the IMAX or the other adventures will not moving towards to you, right? But in our lab about the projection VR, we also combine with the motion capture system. So you see there are some white ball, right? Refractive marker, active refractive marker, and then we can change the positions of your head, and also we can change the position of your hand and anywhere of your body. We just install any marker on your body. Then the update is reference. So somehow when you're moving the head, so the scenes, the virtual scenes will also move according to your head movement. And lots of the users say that, hey, how come your VR applications is freezing? So wherever I move, I cannot feel the feeling. But in fact, the feeling is really comfortable. So the screen is moving. The screen is generate new content according to their movement, but they cannot feel it. It is reverse to have such kind of projection VR, so it's good. Okay, but compared with the price, those are very expensive. So such kind of immersive case system, this one is about 750,000. Okay, 0.75 million Hong Kong dollars, and the previous walking VR is 0.25 millions. Okay, 250,000 Hong Kong dollars. It's really expensive. I guess lots of the home they will not install such kind of applications, or even if you go to lots of the lots of the VR song or other VR theme parks, right? You cannot experience this kind of effect. But if you have, you paid for your school fee, right? So if you have chance, come to our lab and then have a look with this kind of equipment, you have part of your money is paid for this one. Okay, so you can enjoy and then at least enjoy one inside this one. You need not to wear the HEMA display. Only a IMS glasses with the controller is good enough. So after we have talked about different kinds of equipment, so we also need to talk about the processing. Okay, processing. So there are different kinds of PC. Okay, to process these kinds of VR applications. Okay, the first one, of course, you have the PC and then, or you have the notebook. Okay, so mostly I will recommend you have a gap force 1060 or above. So 1080 is the best. In our labs, we all install 1080, so it's a pretty good solution for you. And then I also recommend PC to do the VR application, because somehow you will receive the VR job and then somehow you want to bring this kind of VR system to the other world, to the other outside, and then to the other people, to let the others to experience the situation. So somehow with these kinds of applications, with this kind of notebook, so you can go outside and then share with other than a PC. Okay. Of course, there is another things. If you don't want to carry, or if you don't want to pop with a cable to your HEMA display, you can wear the PC at your pad. So this one is called backpack PC. So what's the meaning? It means that you wear the whole notebook, okay, at your bed, okay, at your bed. There are different kinds of solutions. So you can buy the HP versions, you can buy the MSI version. So we have different kinds of backpack PC, but I'm not really recommend for the backpack PC. So there are a couple of reasons. So for this kind of PC, so MSI or Alienware, so it's really heavy for all the gaming PC. So mostly it's 3 kg to 4 kg, okay, 3 kg to 4 kg. And then this backpack PC is more or less similar. So the situation is including battery, including power, including battery. So it's a one 5 kg, okay, 4 to 5 kg is really heavy. And another problem is when you're playing the game on your notebooks, right? Definitely you feel that your notebook is very hot. Yeah, it generates lots of the heat. So you can imagine that if you put the display card and then you put all of the things at your bed, so the situation is really worse. Okay. And then you also recognize that the battery will run out so fast. So this kind of backpack PC, when you're running the VR application, the VR applications will fastly use up all the internal battery inside this backpack PC. Okay, so if you do not want to carry out a cable or connect with a cable with your HEMA display, I strongly recommend that you use the wireless solutions. Okay, you use the wireless solution instead of you use the backpack PC. Okay, it's a little bit quite serious. Okay, it's a little bit quite stupid. It's serious. Okay. Of course, if you are using the Samsung user, or the Galaxy Note X or above, you can carry out the Gear VR. Okay, you can carry out the Gear VR and then enjoy the VR experience. So the next part will be talking about how we capture the content, okay, for our VR applications. Of course, the best way for do the VR application is you find the 3D designer and then 3D modeler, and then they create the 3D model one by one. They put a texture into it, and then you put it into 3D application, and so on and so on. But try to emerge the human resources that you need for this kind of creations. For one 3D character, okay, for one character that you have experience in lots of the video game, PlayStation or Xbox One, etc. Right? For one character, for a designer, they need 1 week to complete. Okay, that means they need 1 week to draw the 3D model, and then they need 1 week to draw the 3D model, to put the texture into it, and then to animate, to give them some basic animation. It needs 1 week. So it can't find the object. So if you really want a realistic environment, VR environment or 3D environment, it needs lots of the human resources to do this kind of 3D modeling work. So another fastest way for you to do this kind of well simulations of 3D VR world simulation, of course, is using the camera. Okay, using the camera. Camera, they cannot provide some 100% VR experience for it, because for the camera, they only capture the information of one certain point. Okay, of one certain point. Okay, so we call immersive videos. Okay, at one certain point. That means you can have a look with you can rotate your head and then have a look with the surrounding, but you cannot move forward or move backwards about the video or about the photo that you take by 360-degree camera. Okay, 360-degree camera. So it's suitable for the mobile VR, is suitable for the Samsung Gear VR, because they only detect the motion of your head without the other part, so it's quite good. And today, lots of the channel, they support this kind of 360 video. For example, YouTube, right? The YouTube, they support H.264 to H.264, and then with the 360-degree video metadata. So if you say that you are 360-degree video data, and then there is an icon called Google Cardboard or VR, okay, VR. And then when you press the VR button, so the whole thing will become the VR situation and then appear to you. So this one is quite good, and then this one is quite good for you. And then lots of the editing tools, for example, Photoshop, or for example, Adobe Premiere, they have the ability to edit the 360 videos or 360 degree of photo. Okay, and today to buy these kinds of 360 degree videos or capture this 360 degree video with 4K is very cheap, or 5 point. Example, remember the camera that is 1,000 or 2,000, they can capture 5.7K. Okay, 5.7 is pretty good. Okay, but of course they have the winners. They can only capture one point of the 3D structure. Okay, so this is not true. This is not true VR experience. If you can pay more, of course you can have another better solutions. For example, this one, Matterport. Okay, Matterport. Okay, so such kind of structural sensor provide the ability for you to capture the depth data. So beside the RGB, beside the color, so you can also have the D depth. So this one is the RGBD camera, RGBD camera. Such kind of camera, they will capture the 3D structure of your building. So similar to this photo. Okay, so you can capture some 3D experience. They are not perfect. Okay, they are not perfect, but somehow they will provide a better solution for the VR experience, because they have 3D structure, and then you can still walk through inside it. Okay, although they are not perfect. Okay, although they are not perfect, because these kinds of the capture, so their resolution is not too good, and then somehow when you move towards to the 3D object, there are lots of problem about their 3D model. Okay. So if you are interested in it, this one is our lab P503. Okay, so this is the structure that captured by the Matterport, and then here is the link, and then if you are interested, you can just go to here. I guess under the COVID-19, so you have pretty lots of experience using the VR equipment to have a look with different kinds of attractive place, right? So for example, you can go to theater, you can go to different museum, and then you can go to different other place in VR. Okay. Many years ago, we think that, so why we need to VR to have a look with such kind of place. We have the leg, and then we have the ability to move around, right? So I create a VR application. I create such kind of VR things to some disabled, okay, for some disabled or underprivileged group. And now, yeah, because of the COVID-19, we are isolated, and then we are trapped in our home. So that's why how the people move from the physical world to the virtual world, and then enjoy the interaction with each other. So I would say that for this kind of COVID-19 technologies, or the ability of using this kind of technology, is far more improved in the situations. Okay.